Alright, so let's take things back to high school for myself, right? More specifically, freshman year, when everyone was at home on Zoom. And at this particular point, I was some of the happiest I'd ever been. And I know that might sound surprising to a lot of you, but just hear me out for a moment. I'm a very introverted person. I've always sort of had trouble connecting with others, and throughout my life, I've kept a pretty small circle of friends alongside me. So when I was 15 and the pandemic happened, I was honestly some of the happiest I've ever been. I would spend my time discovering new music, going on long voyages in the woods with my dog, just going outside, enjoying nature, and being comfortable with my own company. Society tends to like to pull us this way or that way, and it just felt really good for me not to have that pressure weighing down on me, at least for a little while. During this time period, it felt as though I was living a life that almost sort of emulated a movie. And that was a goal I had for myself, right? Because before this, I used to be a very indoorsy, not huge on taking risks type of person, and I held a lot of regret in regards to that. And now that I had all this time on my hands, it was time to start experimenting, right? No one gave a fuck what I was doing. Everyone else was indoors, and I had no outside influences factoring into what I chose to do. Now, after this time period was over, I started doing more things that pushed me out of my comfort zone, right? I did the training and succeeded in working towards getting my black belt, and then I started doing cross country on top of it as well. And what I had done felt great, right? I had achieved and done more things than most kids around that age had. But at the same time, I just felt that sense of lost freedom that I once had. A lot of things happened negatively in regards to social things over the past year or so up to that point, and I just felt sort of drained from it all, I guess you could say. You see, the big problem with me back then, man, was that I internalized a lot of the things people would say or even do to me, and I would sort of let it just eat away at me from the inside out. And that led me to sort of become afraid again. For a period of time, I became that person who would stay indoors and not put themselves out there as much anymore. And it sucked, bro. I could have spent that time so much more effectively, right? I could have maybe even started something like a YouTube channel. But instead, I would just lay in bed, scroll for hours, and stay indoors away from everyone else. Even though I had all these experiences and accomplishments under my belt, I was still that same person I was beforehand in a way, just based off, the actions I chose to take every day and the way I chose to live my life. And life felt pretty depressing and boring, honestly, right? I wasn't taking any risks or chances, I wasn't improving in any way, and I didn't really know where I was headed from that point moving forward. And so I picked myself up and started to put one foot in front of the other. I started to push myself again, right? I got back into track, I started working out consistently outside of there, and I was taking cold showers, right? And it felt at the time as though I was living in some sort of movie, right? I wanted to be great in some way, and I was putting in the work consistently to get there. I saw my physique transform from average to very lean and sculpted. I saw crazy progress when cross country started back up again in the fall. I just felt as though I had ascended to a whole new level. I was busy all day. I remember at one point I had almost been acing all of my classes, and I hadn't winked off in about 2.5 months up to that point. A girl had come up to me earlier that year and gave me her snap, so things were evidently looking up for me. But like I've mentioned in previous videos of mine, I was undereating at the time, which caused me to fall into a pattern of binge eating, which caused me to become more lazy and give into more of my quick desires. And so a lot of time has passed since then and now, and I feel as though I'm beginning to emulate that feeling again that I once had for myself. In the past year, I've been more outgoing socially than ever before. I've been able to achieve the best physique I've ever had, and I had the best season of running for myself. Now I'm back on trying to improve myself by making content and taking the habits and routines of self-improvement more seriously. And I definitely feel like I'm beginning to emulate that same old feeling I used to have within myself again. Like, I feel so much better about myself now compared to 4 months ago, when I would just laze around, look at my phone all day, and feel sick to my stomach about who I've become. I'm proud of the actions that I take every day now to ensure that I will become the person I want to be and lead the life that I want to live. And it is such a freeing feeling to know that when I get angry, I go out and punch that tree. When I feel like giving into degeneracy, I hit a meditation. Or when I wake up in the morning, I have a structured routine to ensure a high likelihood of a successful day ahead. It's not easy, bro, but this process is all about learning from your mistakes, growing as a human being, and ultimately working towards becoming the person that you want to be one day. I've learned to not give two fucks anymore and just be myself, because at the end of the day, that's all most of anyone's thinking about. It's their own selves, right? Just like you and I probably do. Right? Because not giving a shit is the starting point to emulating that feeling for yourself. And once you're in it, you're not going to want to rid yourself of it. I promise. I hope this message helped you today, my friend. Keep putting in that work to becoming at least 1% better each and every day. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.